I'm Mama Sue, and I'm heading the campaign of Plants Over Pills and destigmatizing cannabis, using business professionals and celebrities sharing their stories of how cannabis not only improved their life, but oftentimes saved it. And today, we have this gorgeous celebrity that's gonna share her story, and I can't wait for you to hear it. Gigi. Gigi, tell me about yourself. I want to hear your story. The world wants to hear your story.
Thank you for having me here today. I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate your campaign and what you're doing, because what you're doing is genuinely why I'm here right now. Cannabis has played a pivotal role in my life. It's changed my life, and like you said, it has definitely saved my life. I have a very intense autoimmune disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and my body in 44 joints is under attack constantly, 24/7. From going through chemotherapies and IV infusions and self-injections a few times per week after so many years, my mom got tired of it. Of course, you don't want to see your child throwing up from morning to night as a side effect, or having extreme reflux of foam coming out because of the side effects, having hair loss because of the side effects. So you can imagine, you see your child like that, and you're into Eastern remedies and you're into plant remedies. So what do? You put on your thinking cap and you begin research. And my mom one day said to me, "Golnesa, I have the answer." And I said, "Well, what's the answer, Mom?" "Weed." And she has a heavy Persian accent. They say V for weed, you know. So she said, "The V." I said, "The what, Mom? The what?" So sure enough, she said, cannabis is one of the world's best anti-inflammatories and is known to cure and help people with inflammatory disease like rheumatoid arthritis. I have a history with drugs. I have a bad history with drugs. So naturally, I was very scared. I went to rehab. I did all that stuff when I was in my 20s. So hearing my mom tell me to go after cannabis as a form of healing, I thought, maybe my mom needs some medication. What's going on right now? So I'm a researcher just like my mom, and I began researching. And my mother found an amazing doctor, Dr. Alan Frankel, an MD who he lost his licensing to practice medicine because he was recommending cannabis to his patients. So she recommended I go visit him. We sat down about 2.5, 3 hours later. I was this just newborn ball of, opportunity. I saw the world very differently because the science was proving it. And I'm a very scientific type of person. So I said, all right, let's give it a go. Let's try this cannabis. And I tried very low doses. I was scared at first. I was very scared. I don't want to go back to my old ways. Is that what's going to happen to me? 6 months later, I was able to move my hands, which I couldn't do for a long time. I couldn't even open a bottle of water. I had to use my teeth, so I was making a full fist. I was able to bend my knees. I was able to just fold my knees like a normal person. And I knew it was because of this cannabis. So I thought, wow, I got to give this to the whole world. And I'm on TV. I have this amazing platform. I got to do this. And so I did. I created a company named Wusah. Wusah is a breath word. You meditate, the word Wusah. It's in with the woo and out with the sa. It's from, and it means a sense of calmness and tranquility. And I thought, what a great name to hand this over. It's also, Martin Lawrence, made it popular in Bad Boys when he was just telling the captain to Woosah, Captain. But it worked. It worked for me, and it worked for the place that I was in at that time of my life, to create this brand, to put it out there, because I believed in it. I was walking proof and evidence that this is working. So I made Wusah. So it took me a while to figure out the type of strain I wanted to create for Wusah, especially it being the first strain of flower that I put on the market. But I knew what was working for me as someone who has autoimmune and sometimes has some anxieties as well. I wanted a strain that you can remain completely functional throughout the day. It's not a head high, it's more of a body high, which means no pain in the body, which for me is everything.
Yes.
I wake up, and for me it's like my cup of coffee. I have my morning joint, it gets me going. I get to start working. I work for a few hours until my son wakes up. Once he wakes up, I take him to school and I go on. So this strain for me is something that allows me to feel less pain while keeping me fully functional, which I named it Candy Apples.
That's awesome.
It tastes yummy, it tastes like candy. It is pretty much almost 50-50 sativa indica. That sativa is great, that gets me going. It's the stimulant, it's the creative juice flow, and the indica is helping my body pain. It helps the body relax if you have joint pain, muscle pain. It just allows the body to relax so the brain can work, because our brains don't work when our body's in pain. We're too consumed with the healing of our pain, so the brain doesn't function properly.
Exactly.
So when I serve it with both the indica and the sativa, my little hybrid version, it works.
That's an amazing story. How old were you when you started the cannabis?
As a healing tool, I would say it's been about 8 years now. I've been healing with cannabis.
What form of cannabis did you use?
I'm old school, so since I used to smoke pot back in the day when we had drug dealers for that, it was smoking. We didn't have edibles or vapes or all these new fancy and amazing forms of consumption.
Yes.
So because I was scared, I did start out with just the consumption of the flower, because the doctor did tell me through smoking it was the fastest way in and the fastest way out. So for me, that was a great concept because I work a lot. I wake up at 5 a.m. and I go until I crash out about 10:30 at night. And now I have a son and I have all these things. So for me, flower consumption of smoking, it's just what worked best.
Thank you for sharing that, because especially the part that you said you used to be on drugs.
Yes.
So many people have say that. I'll get addicted.
Right.
I was on drugs back then. All of that.
Right.
And here, your mindset was you were aware.
Yes.
You said, well, I've been on drugs. I don't want to get hooked on drugs again because I've gotten rid of that. But you were willing to change because your health was more important than anything. And you see, that's what we want to convey to the world about the destigmatizing of cannabis, because it is a healing medicine. It is plants over pills.
It is 100%. And I'll tell you, as someone who goes through both pills and plants, there's no side effect to cannabis other than the happiness. You get better sleep.
Yes.
You have less anxiety, less tremors, less of unpredictable thought patterns, because cannabis allows you to take a second.
Yes.
To think things through.
Yes.
So for me, it was more than just a physical form of medication. It became a psychological form of medication. I went through a lot growing up, where my anger, my rage was off the chart compared to what was actually taking place. And cannabis allowed me to take a beat and relax and say, that's not as big as I thought it was.
Exactly.
Or you know what, I'm too high to care. This is okay.
Yes.
Cannabis it's great.
That's awesome. Let me ask you this. Have you witnessed any pushback being in the media because you are a cannabis representative?
Absolutely.
In the entertainment area, how are you received? Any pushback?
I was the first person on television coming out, let alone on NBC Universal platform. NBC Universal now, they have their ways. I love them. I've been with them for 12 years, but they have their conservative ways, and the advertisers were not prepared to promote a show that one of the casts was promoting cannabis because it's still federally illegal. It's still under a controlled substance Schedule 1, along with heroin. You know what I mean? So we have a lot of issues now. I'm in a free state of California, so maybe New York is going to get it, but I don't know about Oklahoma or Tennessee. So I started getting a little scared because the backlash became bigger and bigger. It went from, you can never on camera say that this is healing you. Don't ever use the word heal when you say cannabis. I'm like, what does that mean? I'm healing. I'm healing.
I'm healed.
Like, well, you can't say that and we can't film you say that. So, you know, you start altering the way you approach it. What legal word am I allowed to use? Please sit here and tell me the legal terms that I can use. Well, it might have helped me because you can't give that, you know, education to the world that it healed. So it's a lot of backlash. Now, this was 8 years ago when I was trying, and it was very, very new at that time.
Yes.
And now every other corner is a dispensary and everybody's healing.
Yes. All of a sudden,
everybody's healing.
It's a holistic medicine.
It is. And it always has been. And the fact that this country made it illegal because of Big Pharma. This country named it marijuana to affiliate it with minorities. You know what I mean? It just, when you read and you understand what proof is in front of you, you can't deny that.
Exactly.
You can't deny that
Exactly.
it's called cannabis, but all of a sudden it's marijuana.
Yes.
Why is it marijuana? Why do you have to say it like that?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes. And you're right. When I'm when I'm doing talks or whatever, I never refer to it as marijuana.
Never.
Always keep
I
it
will bite someone's head off
in
if
cannabis.
They say it. Yes.
Because cannabis has always, even before Jesus, has always been the realm of healing or spirituality only.
Yes.
The marijuana just have bad connotations.
Absolutely.
So I don't use it, and I just have taken it out of my vocabulary. Let me ask you this: who's your favorite person to smoke with?
I'll be honest with you. I've met Snoop Dogg 2 times. God, I love Snoop Dogg. He's everything to me. But unfortunately, we were doing the Steve Harvey show together, and his dressing room was to the side of my dressing room, and it smelled so loudly of weed. I just kept saying to my publicist, "Is it okay if I smoke weed too?" And he's like, "You're not fucking Snoop Dogg. No, you can't smoke in the building." I was like, "Do I just knock Mr. Snoop? Can I come in?" But I've never really smoked out with anyone famous. No. And to me, I'll tell you something. To say, who do you have fun smoking with? Who's your favorite? For me, smoking cannabis doesn't do anything to me like in the movies that they talk about where you get giggles and you think you're just having like a great time.
Right.
For me, it's solely a medicine.
Yeah.
I consume quite a bit. And I'm okay with that because it's plant healing and I don't have to put all those chemicals in my body that make my hair fall out and make me throw up balls of foam every single day. I'll consume from morning to night as long as my son is safe. So for me, consuming is just like the air I breathe. I guess I'm always high at all times. So I have a great time smoking with everybody. I tried smoking with my mom. My mom, she's never even smoked a cigarette in her life or anything or inhaled. So every time I tried to tell her, put the joint in your mouth, just a small puff, Mom, she thinks she has to do like these movie things. So she's like, and then on the floor choking and vomiting for about an hour.
Well, of
like,
course.
Mom, why did you do that?
Because she didn't know.
She does. I tell her every time, but she's just like, how do I do it?
She's right.
She just falls over. And what's going on?
I can identify with her because I remember the first time.
Yeah.
I said, okay, I'm gonna try smoking some of this, right?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know you needed a certain kind of paper. So I got it and I rolled it up in some paper I could find.
Okay.
And so
paper you could find? Were you using fax paper?
No, I used like paper bag.
Oh, what?
I had no idea. This was 17 years ago.
Well,
So
you
look,
can't tell me
what
you
I
were
did.
coughing from the cannabis. You were smoking grocery bags.
Yeah, so look, I didn't get that far. I lit it up. and it was a big fire. So I had to run because my mouth was burning. I had no clue.
Who were you
Nobody.
with?
I was by myself.
Oh my God.
We were in the closet. I was in the closet. I was hiding because I was
That's the
trying.
funniest thing I've ever
Hey, look,
heard.
I was going for this cannabis permit. I was supposed to, I was going for this permit, and I was really scared of cannabis because they did a number on me with that reefer madness, right? So I was in it for 5 years before I really became comfortable with promoting it because of all the stigma. I was like your mother, and most people that are my age, that's why they're so reluctant, and that's why I've been so impactful with helping to eliminate the stigma that surrounds cannabis, because I'm the trusted face of medical cannabis, because I see it as a medicine. I've witnessed so many people that are being healed from it. I couldn't turn my back on it, even though I was still afraid of it.
Thank you for that. Thank you for not.
I'm telling you, it's and we're doing this so the world can see, to help them with healings their body, how our Creator made us to be.
Yes.
Our Creator.
It's natural. It's all natural. It's here on earth. It was given to us. Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper. I mean, come on. Come on. It's a self-renewing plant. It can grow faster and more durable than cotton. It's stronger fibers than they're using on airplane. It is just this miracle of a plant that if it weren't for Big Pharma, everybody would know that it's medicine. It is.
What part of the industry excites you the most? The cannabis industry.
I think the cannabis industry, the most exciting part is also for me the most challenging part, where not just I'm a woman in the cannabis space, but I'm a celebrity woman, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but celebrity cannabis brands have a very hard time.
Oh yeah, that's one of my questions. So good, I'm glad you got right to it.
It's very difficult out there for celebrity, because people are just like, oh, it's just the name, it's like a name brand. They don't really care about what they're selling. I have spent 8 years committing myself to social media, to the world very openly. I take cameras into my doctor's exams. I let them see the very difficult things that I get done to myself, my body, because of my disease. And then I show them what this plant is also doing to me. So I have built their trust for 8 years in Wusah. So I knew that was going to be difficult. I knew, and I still know to this day, like, oh, she's a celebrity brand. Like, no. Just give it a second. Look at my strains. See what I'm working with. See what I do. And then it's, proof is in the pudding.
So the next question was going to be, what do you plan to do differently to change that? And so I think what you just described, getting the footage of you going into the doctors, of you making the difference, of you seeing it as a healing plant over pills, as you seeing that. And so I think you're just right on it.
I do. And I tell my doctors, I say, well, I'm taking cannabis, by the way. And they'll never say, don't take it. They just say, do whatever's helping. Because they legally can't say it's working for you. Keep doing it. They just say, do whatever's working.
So many people, because I work with seniors in cannabis. Actually, it's all ages now. At first, my demographic was just seniors, but now everybody is reaching out. But one thing about the cannabis and the news and all this, everybody is getting on board with the educational component and listening to people such as yourself and these business people, reputable people, to eliminate the stigma of stoners.
Absolutely.
You see, we're not stoners. And that's what Plants Over Pills is all about. Interviewing people such as yourself, telling your story of health and wellness and fitness. Because who's going to save the world is the energy of you young people, coupled with the wisdom of us elders, creating better families, better communities, better governments, resulting in a better world. And who can't use a better world if you get people healing with cannabis?
You know, every time I do post on social media, or if I'm speaking or advocating for cannabis, the backlash that I get is, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're a mother. You should be ashamed of yourself over there getting high and your child's all by himself, raising himself. What kind of an example are you setting? Are you always smoking in front of your kids? You know, do you let your kids see you smoke? And my son has never seen me inhale anything. He never will see me until an age is appropriate for his mind to understand what I am doing. I really question the people, the type of people who are giving me the backlash. I just want to put a mirror up and say, you know what, God bless you.
Exactly.
Bless you. And I hope one day you see it for the sake of your children, your grandchildren, whoever you are, whatever you are. I hope one day you see this will heal you. They probably need someone to roll up a doobie for them right there and then, just put it in their mouth, you know, while they're on the Instagram trolling everyone. You know, I drive around in my cars. Both my cars I have in the dash, I have a stack of money, not hundreds, don't rob me, you guys. It's ones, and I have stacks of joints, pre-rolls. If I ever see homeless people, I give them some money, and I always ask, do you smoke some weed? Here.
Good for you.
Because the studies have also shown the more people were putting cannabis on the streets for homeless people, because there was a study that they were putting cannabis in every homeless person's hands, the crime dropped. The people that were ODing on other things dropped. So we're talking about a very big, universal, magical healing plant. This isn't something small that we're just advertising here. This is a big deal.
And see, what they're not realizing when they ask you the question about being a mom and your kid, they fail to see you using it to save your life.
Yes.
You using it. What if that kid might not have been born,
right,
if you hadn't have used it?
Yes.
He might have not come through you.
That's right.
If you wasn't using it.
That's right.
But you have to look beyond appearances. And one thing I do know, Gigi, everybody, not just for us, you have to go within for guidance and be led to what you're supposed to do. Because there's nobody, the Food and Drug Administration, the government, they're not looking out for our behalf.
Right.
We have to look out for our behalf and what's good for our bodies and help to bring that to our children. And another thing, see if you agree with this. I think people in America have something against people feeling good. They don't want you feeling good. If somebody,
Me
look,
too. It's not just America, but that's how they control the masses.
And look,
That's how they control us.
when
Yes.
when I'm going about my day, I'm be on the elevator at where I live, and people say, anybody say, "How are you today?" I say, "Ooh, I'm incredibly well."
Yeah. Oh, something must be wrong with her, right?
They think I'm
Something
nuts.
must be wrong with her.
I hear she works in cannabis. She probably smoking.
Right.
I don't smoke.
Right.
You know, and so I said, they said, well, how you get to be that way? I said, because I chose to.
Yep.
You know, my creator wanted me happy, joyous, and free.
Right.
Rich and famous.
Right.
Healthy and wealthy. Getting more youthful and younger and sexier and intuitive and energetic as I age.
As you are.
And cannabis has a big part to do with that. Now, is there anything that I missed that you would like to share that I didn't bring up?
No, I think you really hit the nail on every head.
It was just a pleasure having you.
Likewise, I'm so happy. Thank you for all that you do for the industry. Thank you. It means a lot, especially, and I'm not going to call you my elders. You, to me, we're equal humans, we're equal souls. But thank you for being who you are with your age and advocating for this, because it does make a big difference when someone your age advocates versus when someone my age advocates.
Yes.
You know, so I really appreciate it.
And thank you for saying that, Gigi, because I was speaking to somebody just today. I forgot who it was. And I told them straight up. They said, my mom, I'm trying to get my mom, but she won't listen. Da, da, da. I said, oh, baby, you got to send the right messenger.
Yes.
You got to find somebody her age, you know, like me. Somebody, I'm very impactful in it. And Gigi, I did not choose it. I never would have chose cannabis. I'm a Catholic school principal, for Christ's sake.
Right.
Who would choose it? And so it chose me.
It chose you.
It chose me.
Yep.
I began to see the healing in it year after year.
Yes.
And something inside of me clicked. Said, okay, Sue, you said you're gonna make this world a better place because you live. You wasn't just gonna exist. You were gonna give back to the world exactly what the world has been giving to you. So when I saw the healing, I said, okay, my son Jamal and daughter-in-law Kiki, they're the ones who got me into the industry. And I said, okay, what did these kids get me into, man? You know, because I'm African American.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being judged.
Yep.
I'm sick of being judged. And another thing to be judged is with cannabis.
Right.
And so, but it's larger than me.
It is.
My creator sent me here to do that, and I intend to do it. And I'm gonna do it. And you know how I know it's the right move? It's how I feel inside when I'm doing the work. Ain't nobody can touch me. Nobody. A lot of people copy me, but they can't articulate it, and they don't have the heart. I genuinely care.
I can feel it.
And I love you, and I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you. You're a role model. You really are a role model. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for watching Plants Over Pills. I'll see you soon.